Hello and welcome back to Stories with me, Jesse. And today we're taking a dive into the part of Reddit where people question if their anger and frustrations are justified over at /AmITheAsshole. Let me know what you think of these stories in the comments, as well as any suggestions you might have that we may just use in a future installment. So strap yourselves in and stay 6 feet away from others, because we're getting started now. Our first story is titled, Am I the asshole for not using tech my parents got me because they wanted to monitor it? This year, my parents, mom and stepdad, got me a phone and a computer, and they had rules around them like how I can't set my own passwords. They can look at anything I do on there. They will have software that lets them look at where I am and who I am talking to, etc. I said that wasn't something I wanted. I've always had privacy on my tech, and I haven't done anything wrong. I knew it was my stepdad's idea, not my mom. The rules have gotten a lot stricter since he moved in, and I know this is something he came up with. So I've let the battery die on both the phone and laptop and put them in a box in my closet. I've been using an old iPod Touch that is somehow still working, that a friend gave me, to go on the internet and have music. I haven't told my parents I do this. I also spend a lot of time doing things without tech now. I've been going for runs, hikes, lifting weights, drawing, reading books, etc. I've been getting into wilderness survival stuff as a hobby, learning how to make different kinds of shelters and traps for animals and stuff. My parents have gotten really mad I won't use the phone and laptop, like they don't like they can't get in touch when I'm on a run or a hike. Or that I don't see things in the family group text, or that I don't see emails and calls from extended family. I don't mind giving up most tech, honestly. It's led to a lot of self-improvement. I have a lot of time for fitness. I've been reading a lot of books. I've been learning a lot because I like to read nonfiction. And I realize I don't miss social media. All it did was make me feel bad about myself a lot of the time. All the stuff I was missing out on not being popular at school. All the girls with perfect makeup and bodies. I'm a lot happier not having that and just focusing on my own fitness. I didn't have a lot of friends at school, honestly. My only good friend was my friend who gave me the iPod, and we keep in touch through that now. My parents are mad enough that now that my birthday is coming up, they're saying they won't give me anything unless I appreciate the last gifts they gave me. I say I do appreciate them, but I don't appreciate not having privacy, and also I just have other priorities but technology now. Apparently that's not good enough. They're just mad I'm not using them. Am I the asshole for not using the phone and laptop? In my honest opinion, no, you're not. While they may possibly be imposing those security restrictions out of love or concern, it really sounds like your head is on straight and you're driven and focused enough, not needing to be monitored constantly. It also seems like you have solid reasoning behind the polite refusal of accepting and using the gifts they've given you. Now, I obviously don't know the whole story, but in these modern times, it's practically societal expectation to stare at a screen constantly, and you're unplugged and loving it. So if that works for you, that's wonderful. Hopefully they come around and respect you for it in the future. Moving on, our next story is called, Am I the asshole for moving all the bathroom supplies I paid for out of the bathroom so my roommate's mom can't use them anymore? So me and a friend rent an apartment together. Her mom recently just came to stay for a little bit because her water is off in her house. Recently I found out that her mom has been using my things. For example, my spray-on deodorant, toothpaste, body wash, shampoo, towels, loofah, etc. It grossed me out because I don't know this woman very well, and I'm not comfortable with the idea of her using my things. I wasn't trying to start any conflict, so I kindly asked my roommate to buy her mom some of her own stuff to use. Her response was that since I let her use my stuff sometimes, I should let her mom as well. Plus, apparently her mom likes my stuff better since it's more expensive. We went back and forth for a bit until she finally gave in and said she'd tell her mom to stop. The final straw came when I went into the bathroom yesterday morning and her mom was using my curling iron. After that, I moved all my stuff I paid for into my room. My roommate confronted me, saying her mom was upset because none of the stuff she used was there anymore. I told her until her mom can buy her own stuff to use, I won't be putting any of mine back in the bathroom. We haven't talked since. Was I being too rash with my decision? Or selfish? Not at all, sister. Personal hygiene products like a loofah or curling iron are just that, personal. I can understand sharing a body wash or spray with permission or the intent to pitch in and or replenish some of these products if there's a mutual understanding, but in reality, she probably should have packed those kinds of items in her bag before she came over to stay for a while. I'm a man, so as long as I have some kind of soap and some kind of brush, I'm easy maintenance. But don't you feel bad about wanting to keep your hygiene products away from people you don't know or necessarily trust. I've had family members stay with me on and off as well, and sometimes those lines have to be drawn in order for them to respect you as well as the things you've purchased. Our final story is titled, Am I the asshole for ignoring my brother and not caring he's changed since bullying me while we were younger? I'm 19, my brother is 21, and is my only sibling. I realized I was gay from a young age and came out at 14. My parents were supportive from the get-go, but my brother was absolutely not. He tried telling me I wasn't, or I was just trying to get attention, and tried to get me to change my mind. When that failed, he called me a freak, diseased, said I was going to hell even though we aren't that religious, and made it clear he didn't want a relationship with me. He outed me at school, my friends already knew, and tried to get others to join in, but no one really cared and nothing much changed. Needless to say, I vowed to limit contact with him as much as possible, but the comments continued until he moved out when he turned 18 for school. I've since gotten into a great school and have completed a year and a half. I'm in a relationship, my grades are the best they've ever been, and everything seems to have fallen nicely into place. My brother sent me a Facebook message back in August. He started by apologizing for how he treated me, saying he was depressed before and was stuck inside his own head, fell into the wrong crowd online that reinforced his bitterness towards others. He said he'd gotten treatment for his depression, feels more confident than he has in years, and was on the upswing and wanted to meet up and repair our relationship. He said he was proud of me for being gay and supported me, and apologized for taking so long to make it known. I didn't respond, nor did I respond to his happy birthday message in September. Then he started texting me saying he understands if I'm still hurt, but that he'd still love nothing more than to make up for the hurt he caused. I haven't responded to these either. Here's where my boyfriend says I'm the asshole. Over the holidays, we were all back at my parents' house. I had a great time seeing my family, except him. Each time he'd ask about me or try to talk to me, I'd give him one-word answers or clam up. He'd offered to get a game for me as a gift, but I declined. He pulled me aside to apologize face to face, reiterating the stuff he said before, but I also cut that short and walked away. Meanwhile, I talked with my parents like normal and was very open with them about the happenings of my life, typically within earshot of him. The day we left, I said my goodbyes and found him by my car crying. He said he understands why I'm closed off to him and that he regrets how it turned out, wished me well, and went back inside. I told my boyfriend about this when I got back, and he's pissed and called me an asshole. Boyfriend says it's clear my brother feels badly about how he used to be, and he's changed, and that to throw all that back in his face is a dick move. My parents agree and say he's a good person, but ultimately feels it's up to us. Personally, I've gotten so used to the idea of not having a brother that I don't know if there's anything left to salvage. He made his choice to sabotage me then. Is it really my problem he regrets his actions now? Am I the asshole? Update. The TLDR of the last post was I had ignored my brother's attempts to have a relationship with me after the homophobic shit he threw at me when we were younger. I'm glad to say that's no longer the case. A little after my last post, I texted him that I appreciated his words, but that his actions had really hurt me and that I needed time. He texted back he understood and to take as much time as I needed. He also thanked me for reaching back out to him. I spent a lot of January and February in self-reflection and trying to figure out what I wanted. Lots of people in the last post said I needed therapy, and I agree I likely did. I never ended up seeing a professional, but I got really into some guided meditation and calming exercises I saw on YouTube. Making a habit of it helped me realize how much weight I was carrying and has helped me start to let that weight down. I still have some ways to go, but I can feel my empathy growing, and I like that. I went home for spring break and saw my bro for the first time since Christmas. Long story short, we spent a lot of time hanging out and our relationship is recovering. We've had some hard conversations, cried, shared a couple joints, etc. And I came away from the break feeling much better about everything. And since each of our schools have closed down due to the pandemic, we're both at home and doing our classes remotely and hanging out on the downtime. I want to thank those of you who said I'd probably regret cutting him out, because I can tell you were right. My brother isn't perfect and did many things to purposely hurt me, but people can change if they want to, and he did. I wouldn't want to be judged by my lowest point, and I'm working on not judging him by his. I finally have my brother back, and forgiving him has helped me feel better in ways I didn't realize I needed. Thank you. TLDR, forgiveness is a hell of a drug. I guess my judgment isn't exactly needed since the user decided to update their story, and several other people chimed in and encouraged him to mend his relationship with his brother. But I'm always touched and humbled when people can really own up to their past mistakes, trying to rebuild bridges that were almost completely broken down. To be perfectly transparent, I have a hard time believing that people can truly change. Each of us has to look deep inside ourselves and search in our hearts before we can begin to improve our mentality and accept that there's a clear area for improvement and empathy. That's about all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for tuning in with me, Jesse. What did you think of these stories? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and check out what other stories I have for you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.